Hi people, my name is Susan Peters. I commiserate with the families of Sylvester Romani. There will be a gathering tomorrow at Darwin College gates at 8 a.m. We invite all Nigerians to join the fight for justice. Please come out and fight for this justice we deserve. Thank you and God bless.
Latest update. 2 more Darwin College students and 3 housemasters reportedly arrested as police obtained court order to remand students in a juvenile center. Guys, una know say earlier this morning they let us know say 3 of the students has been in the police custody. This update just they come now say other 2 more students don't join them for the matter. According to reports, 2 additional students of Darwin College have reportedly been arrested and detained by the Lagos State Police Command over their alleged involvement in the torture and death of their schoolmate Sylvester Oromini. This brings the total number of students in police custody to 5. Meanwhile, 3 housemasters who were on duty on the day the incident happened have been taken into the police custody. Police say they have obtained a court order to detain the student for 21 days at the juvenile center. Earlier, 3 students and their parents who visited the State Criminal Investigative Department, Panti, Yaba, in the company of their parents were also detained. Guys, according to reaction, good start, but we need proof, pictures and videos, not audio write-up. I don't trust this country one bit because justice for Sylvester Oromini. We need to see evidence because if na Yahoo boys now, their pictures and videos go circulate for everywhere. Show us evidence. Guys, this one they come from some of the reaction from Nigerian Commenters Association. Meanwhile, some still react say this na good step. Really, justice must prevail. Even our governor, Governor Sanwo-Olu of Lagos State, also speaks on Oromini's death. According to him, I commiserate deeply with the family of late Sylvester Jr. Oromini, the 12-year-old people of Darwin College, Lagos. As a parent, I share the grief Sylvester's dismiss has brought upon his family and the entire household. The incident is not only sad, but disturbing and heartbreaking. Consequently, I ordered a comprehensive investigation into the matter, but while that is going on, I would like to give Sylvester parents and entire citizenry of Lagos the assurance of my full support at this trying time. I share their pains and sense of loss. Indeed, words are inadequate to describe my feelings, but I pray that God Almighty will soften the pains and grant Sylvester Jr. eternal rest. Amen. That one comes from Lagos State Governor. Meanwhile, the House of Representatives tell IGP to take over Sylvester Oromini's case. According to the report as well, members of the House of Representatives have directed the Inspector General of Police, IGP Usman Baba, to take over investigation into the alleged torture and eventual death of Sylvester Oromini, an 11-year-old student of Darwin College, Lagos. The lawmakers gave the directive during plenary today, December 7. They also called for the student alleged to have perpetrated the act to be placed on a no-fly list by the Nigerian Immigration Service. Speaking during the plenary, a member of the House, Uyime Idim, moved a motion of urgent public importance titled A Call to Condemn the Trend of Inhuman Treatment in Nigerian Body Schools across the country and comprehensive investigation into the activities of Nigerian body school system. So guys, as I talk people still talk say there's support, say IGP takes over this case. There must be a reform across our body school nationwide. Nobody will watch the video of that boy groaning in pains and not be moved to tears. Una see how that little boy, Sylvester Oromini, die, the pains when he go through. So this one go serve as a warning to all these body school when be say they know they monitor their students, because not be everybody you go kill and go scot-free. Some people get alpha spirit and Sylvester na one of them. Guys, Una see how these people be want to escape with their children comot from the country, but the power of social media, people get involved, and now all the culprits has been brought to book. Like dem don dey cool off for police detention, and investigation don already dey go on. And thank God say this news dey come this evening, say all of them, the 5 of them when Sylvester mentioned before Ikpeme, all of them don dey cool off there. So guys, let's keep our fingers crossed, because people wey don involve for this matter, if na even this lawyer wey Oromini's family hire, I mean Femi Falani, everything go work accordingly. So guys, make I drop this video, make una listen to one of the evidence when person talk about this Dowen College, wetin don dey happen there before. This na Violet Bass TV. To all my returnees, God bless you. And if you never subscribe up to now, abeg smash on the subscribe button, and make you remember to put up the post notification bell, so that anytime I come with any latest updates like this, you will get notified and be the first to watch. Guys, drop your comments if una dey contented with the latest updates when they come say they don't arrest the other 2 when they be flew comot from the country, and make una enjoy the rest of the video. Watch till the end.
Hello. So today I'm going to be talking about the very unfortunate incident that happened at Dowen College in Lagos. And I want to say it's a very sad one, to have that young boy's life cut short for no fault. Like, I don't even know how to explain how sad that thing is. I watched the videos and I'm crying. Yesterday I was crying, and then my son came to me. I was asking, what's wrong, mommy, what's wrong? I was like, now I was watching the video where his dad, Sylvester's father, said like when he died he had tears in his eyes. Do you understand how sad that thing makes an already sad story? That boy did not deserve it. He deserved to live a full life, to grow up to his full potential, cut short at the age of 12. For what reason? Is the reason I'm coming to now. The thing is, Nigerians, let's get this in perspective. What killed Sylvester Jr. is bullying and not boarding school. Because we don't see bullying. In our eyes, like, people don't understand the concept of bullying very well, as they try to make it look like they understand. You read comments and you see that people are not how do I put the word? They lack empathy. Why am I saying this? This boy has just died. It hasn't been a month. He's still lying in the mortuary. He hasn't been buried. And the conversation Nigerians are having, yes, justice for Sylvester is on the one side, but the conversation Nigerians are having, especially our so-called, in quote, celebrities, is the boarding school / day school. They started a debate of day school is better than boarding school. And that is the most lousy form of bullying I've ever seen. Because it's a subtle act of bullying. You're bullying his parents. This is not the time to start shifting blame. I'm better because my child is in day school. Why do you push your child to boarding school? This is not the time to have that conversation. No time is even the time to have that conversation, because every child in this country cannot go to day school. Do you understand the gridlock if all parents have to take their children to school at the same time? Do you understand the gridlock that will happen in this country? It's not possible. You cannot impose what you feel is right on others. That is bullying. Now that these people are grieving, let them grieve. For the love of God, they're already blaming themselves. They're blaming themselves. They're probably blaming themselves for even giving birth to the boy to come into this wicked world and live in such a manner. And then you're starting this conversation now, so you make them feel guilty. Victim blaming. We leave the issue and we're chasing shadows. You are bullying the parents. You're bullying other parents online who are saying boarding school is better. They've turned it into a debate. That debate shouldn't come now. That debate shouldn't come ever. You're not a better parent. I speak I speak for parents who put their children in boarding school, not because I can put mine in boarding school. Why can't I put my children in boarding school? Because I have the luxury of being an entrepreneur. I'm not doing better than the people earning millions a month as when they go to their structural office. I'm not doing better than them. I just have the luxury of time. I can take care of my children. I have a friend who put her baby in daycare at 3 months. But I don't send my children to school until it's absolutely necessary, until they are over 2, that they have to, most definitely have to go to school. That's when I take them to school. Why? Because I have the luxury. Does it make me a better parent than the parent who put her baby in in daycare at 3 months? No, she doesn't have that luxury. She calls and she's like, you're lucky. She had to drop. She's not feeling good. She doesn't like it. But it doesn't mean it doesn't mean she doesn't love her child. She just doesn't have that opportunity. So everybody's saying, and I'm particularly basing this on what some people said, like what's her name, that real Uchi somebody. She was now saying that except in this case in a divorce state, a mother should keep their children. You know, these women that like to feel like their way is the best. Doesn't mean that they have the most well-behaved children. It's just the way Nigerians like to feel like they are better than everybody else. Bullying. Nobody has to send your child to boarding school. You have to keep your child. I take my children on trips. You take your children on trips. If you're a doctor or a nurse, a night shift, will you take your child to the hospital to be with you? Or you leave them at home at the mercy of nannies that you don't know what the nannies are doing to them? Most of the people who say this, they don't even have CCTV in their homes. Most of them don't even, your child is in day school, but when you come home at night, do you revise what the child did in school with them? You're probably too tired from work and you go off to sleep. Some of them don't even communicate with their children when they get back home. They just sleep, wake up the next day, go to work. And they're feeling that they love their child more. They're bonding with their child more because the child is in day school. I'm not unreasonable. I will not put my child in boarding school. Not because there's one demon. There's a demon everywhere. There's no particular demon. Do you know how day school students get haunted? They'll be like, okay, when we leave the building, and those ones that have to take public transport, when they leave the building, they'll go and attack another child somewhere. You think that doesn't happen? God forbid this issue that happened with Sylvester happens in a day school. What do we do then? We now start advocating for parents to homeschool their children. I can't homeschool anybody. I can't teach anybody anything. What do we do then? That's not the issue. Each system has its advantages and disadvantages. It's not for us to tell parents how to parent their children. You don't get to do that. Even if you want to do that, you don't do it now. It shows you lack empathy. And this is the type of people that will raise children who lack empathy. Children who will see somebody else crying and saying no instead of saying sorry. Because their parents don't have empathy. Because if you have empathy, if you have emotional intelligence, you will know that this is not the time to have this conversation. A family is grieving the loss of their child. Do you think they don't blame themselves already? Why are you trying to drive in the knife into their hearts? I'll tell you this story of when I was, I think I was a teenager. I couldn't have been more than 18 or 17 or so. There's this boy in my neighborhood. I'll never forget his name. His name is Emeka. I think he was about 8 or 9. He came home from school one day and walked in on his elder brother. The elder brother was like 15. The elder brother's friend was stealing in their house. My goodness, that boy was killed in the most brutal way. I didn't go there, but people who went there came back crying that his blood was everywhere in the house. The boy, Oliver, that's the killer, Oliver, was stabbing this child, stabbing, and his blood was everywhere in the house. When he was sure he had killed the child, he wrapped him in a bed sheet, dropped him on his parents' bed. Oliver went into the bathroom, showered, and changed into the boy's father's clothes and left the house. He was caught, he was sentenced and all that. The father made sure that the boy was caught and everything. That's the Emeka's father made sure that Oliver was caught and sentenced and whatever. But don't you think that in that the father's mind he would have been like, oh, I wish I put my child in boarding school. If he was in boarding school, there's no way on a weekday that there's nobody at home. He will now just walk in and meet a thief in the house. So what do you say about that then? What do you say about that? This is just one of many instances. Do you know what happens in day school? They will tell you, oh, in boarding school, this is where all forms of homosexuality and whatnot happens. It happens everywhere. It happens everywhere. You that you're shouting in boarding school, this in boarding school, that you're leaving your children at home with nannies that you don't know about. You don't have CCTV, you don't know what's going on. They're grooming some of these nannies. We read these stories, they groom these children and it becomes a disaster. So there's nowhere that is safe. It's just like saying, okay, because this thing has happened in boarding school now, we have to scrap boarding school. It's just like saying that, okay, because they are robbers now, people need to stop owning property, stop owning things, don't have a phone so you will not be robbed. Victim blaming. Stop blaming the victims. Boarding school did not take this innocent child's life. Bullying did. And you people who are doing this, starting this conversation now, are bullies. How can you say every, as in, do you sit down to think? When I read comments, my head hurts. Do you sit down to think the implication of everybody in Nigeria sending their children to day school? Or how will the country function? So a doctor, let's assume father and mother, doctor and nurse, excuse me, and they have to work 9 shifts. I don't know, but okay, they will not have to come. They don't want to come to work 9 shift now because they have children. They have to go and stay home with their children now, their day children. So you are in the hospital now for emergency. There's no doctor. Doctor has to stay at home with his children because you said everybody should send their children to day school. And people have the effrontery to say that people who send their children to boarding school don't love them. There was one post I was reading. One woman who later and down said she's guarding hers jealously, and she gave birth by surgery. I don't know. It's very common now to give birth by surgery. Some people even go for elective CS. If you go to the hospital now, out of 10 births, 5 will be CS and 5 will be VD. So what's the big deal about that? She guarding hers jealously, she can't. Madam, that doesn't make you a better parent than the person who put her child in boarding school. Myself, I will not put my children in boarding school, but that doesn't make me a better parent because I am thinking from the perspective of the other parent. We're always quick to shout all fingers are not equal. Same thing, all situations are not equal. You can't impose your will on others, so they should close down all boarding schools because of this incident. Or what about when something happens in day school too? You close down all day schools, everybody homeschool your child. Let's be reasonable. Empathy. Raise children. The problem is you not raising your children properly and thinking that because of one thing, that means this child will be what. You're not teaching your children empathy. Teach your children empathy. Teach your children manners. Teach them to grow up to be people who don't look down on others, who don't impose their will on others. You are imposing your will on others. That makes you a bully. Who told you are not raising bullies? Who told you are not raising future murderers with the way you are imposing yours on others? Having a conversation that should not be had now, not ever even. They've successfully deviated, left the course of action and started chasing shadows. Boarding school / day school, which is not the issue. It is well. It is well indeed. The only thing I've said it before on this recording, I'm saying it again. What took that boy's life, Sylvester Jr., is not boarding school. It is bullying. And in our society, we need to get rid of that bullying. Go to the comment section. Somebody disagrees with somebody else. The first thing you say is, shut up, you are mad, you are stupid. That's bullying. What did the person ever do to you? The person wasn't even talking to you in the first place. I see that and I'm wondering, I'm like, how damaged are you? And if you see that person will say, shut up, you are stupid. I went to day school and my parents were able to keep me. And this character you are exhibiting, does it make you the perfect the role model of day schools? How do you start a sentence with shut up, get out, you are mad, you are stupid? What has that got to do with anything? You're insulting somebody you don't know on the internet. Don't you know that your words can hurt that person? You're doing damage to the person. It may not be physically, but mentally you're doing damage to that person. Then as a society, we don't want to solve the problem of bullying with bullying other people. How do you solve that problem? There's a bigger issue than that, and I'm hoping that this boy, God rest his soul, he has started a conversation, and the conversation is not boarding / day. The conversation is bullying in all forms. What are you teaching your children? These people are saying you are mad, you are stupid. They grew up with this thing and think it's okay. They will be at home and they're talking to somebody else, and maybe they're talking to the help and they say you're mad, you're stupid. Your children are picking this up. How do you treat people around you? What are your children saying from how you behave? Do you have empathy? When you hear that something bad happens to somebody, you say, she deserves it, and your children can hear you. Are you raising empathic children? Are you raising nice, sincere, and friendly children? Or you are raising bullies? That's what we should be talking about. I was bullied in nursery school. Like, my first memories, like, I think I should have been about 4 or 5. I was bullied because I repeated nursery 2. Then there was nursery 3. So my friends went to nursery 3. They weren't my friends. I think they were my friends. Every day they would come to my class to taunt me. And I was very big. I was very tall. I was like the tallest in the class. I would now sit down in the back looking like a giant. They would come, they would point, they would laugh at me, laugh, say all sorts of things. At what age? We couldn't have been more than 4 or 5. Those were one of my first memories in life of being taunted and everything. God so kind, I now got double promotion and caught up with them in primary 1. Not because there's no motivation or anything there, like I now studied hard. They studied for nursery school. It's fate just happened that they just resumed in primary 1 and they met me there. They were like, how come? You understand? But not like